Hello, everybody out there in the internet, and welcome back to the stuff of The Walking Dead. And now we're going to do part 3. I'm Ticketmaster, joined by
RPG Maniac 05
and Trioptical.
Yeah, episode 3 starts off. It's been some time. Actually, been at the camp, and you're scrounging for supplies in were they back in Macon when they went to go get supplies?
Yeah, they go back Macon.
It's Lee and Kinney.
Yep. And the first thing you see is, they're talking about the stuff that's happened. Just like we're talking about the stuff.
Good old segue.
They see a lady, a real live lady, being attacked by zombies, and she gets bit. And you have a scoped rifle, and you have to decide whether or not to shoot her and put her out of her misery. Because by this time, you already know that it's not the bites. But she still gets to be eaten alive if you let her live. So,
Yeah.
what'd you guys do?
So I let her live.
I did too.
Because that was going to be my initial thing anyway. Before Kenny even made the whole argument against or about like, oh yeah, she could be a distraction. I was like, well, I was planning on doing that anyway. So like, at least we're on the same page here. So I was like, because I didn't want to find out what would happen, like, because if you shoot her, that's going to attract their attention, because it's like, you have a gun, and that makes noise, and it's like, oh crap, now we're going to get swarmed, and we have to go hurry up and gather our stuff, so I didn't know whether or not that would, like, decrease the amount of time you had, or what would happen, so I was like, I won't take my chances, I'll just let her get eaten alive, and, she was already bit anyway, so a few more bites wouldn't hurt.
To me, it's like, well, like I've been saying, I'm not a killer, so I'm not about to kill someone, even if it is like some sort of like euthanasical, oh, they're dying, put them out the misery tank, and it's like, no, I ain't no killer, I'm not going to kill somebody, even if they're just like getting nom by zombies. And like RPG said, it's a great distraction when I need to go into this building to scavenge for supplies. Thanks, lady that got bit, because you're a great bait to the zombies.
I'm curious, like, at what point, if it just left the camera there until she was basically eaten, at what point would you decide, okay, now it's okay to shoot her? Does she have to be totally dead? Can she be lying there with her last breath? Kill me!
It's like, well, that must suck, because
every moment I live is agony.
But think about it this way. If I shoot you, I might get caught, and then I'll have to live in agony. It's like...
And that's one less bullet for me, which I could have saved, which I might have needed later on.
Because watch, it'll be that one time it's like, crap, I needed that one bullet right now. All because I want to save her and give her a nice mercy kill.
Oh, no!
Damn it. Damn you! So, yeah, I didn't want to... Just don't want to take that chance. And besides, if she was like that dead, what was the point of wasting a bullet? She's gonna be dead soon.
Like, yeah, she's gonna die anyway. So
it's like, why waste a bullet?
Why waste my bullet?
Horrible people, just horrible people.
Well, I also did not shoot her. No, this time because I think at the time I was actually reading the comic, and they chop off a lot of people's limbs in that because they know it's not the bites, but they know that the bites do kill you. Mm-hmm. So like, oh no, he got bit! Chop off his leg! And sometimes they live, and I think at that point I had only seen people die. So after she got bit, I was like, oh man, I saw this in the comic. This does not end well. And like, yeah. So basically, there's nothing we can do.
It's like she had a good run, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Hope so.
We barely knew ye.
Basically. So then, after that, you kind of hop in there, and, I guess since we all killed her, we don't really know what happens otherwise, so I guess we all have the same amount of time to just steal stuff, but...
It's actually funny, though, because you let her die and get eaten, like, the whole time the sound is just, like, her screaming in the background, like,
like, man, would somebody just shut her up already?
It goes on forever, and I'm like, man...
Although you have to give it to her, she's pretty resilient. She can,
Yeah, it took a while.
it's like, well, she did a really good job being a distraction.
I think most people pass out after a little while, but she just kept going.
Yeah, I was like, man, with all the blood loss and stuff, you think she would have like went into shock or something, but nope, she's still going strong. It's like, go you.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty clever way to let you live with your decisions.
Or them attempts to guilt me when it's like, well, he was gonna die anyways.
Terrible. But yeah, so you grab a bunch of supplies, you go back, and you see there's sort of more conflict between Lily and Kenny brewing because
Joel,
he smashed her dad's face.
Yes, I mean, to be fair, she does have a reason to be mad this time, but like,
it was pretty brutal.
It's only got.
But apparently, Lily has also discovered that supplies are being taken.
Yeah. Now, at this point, I assumed that she was kind of just losing it because she was kind of over like her father dying. And I was like, is somebody really taking stuff, or are you just being insane right now? So I was like, I didn't know if they even gave you options to like accuse her of that, but I know I picked some of the options. Where I was like, maybe we should like back down a bit. Maybe you're just hearing or thinking things that aren't actually happening and stuff. Because it's like, okay, her dad just died. She's already pissed off at everybody. There's an apocalypse going on. She might not be in her right mind. So it's like, I guess I can humor her, but I really don't think anybody's taking anything. I just think you're being insane.
Yep.
So it's like that. It started to get a little awkward around camp. Then,
be cool, everybody. Be cool.
It's like, I have a gun. I will shoot you all. Everybody just calm down. Just calm down.
I saved that bullet, so I have enough to kill everybody here.
Exactly. So then this is the part where you get like tasked to like talk to everybody, right? Because I think even it's the part where you can talk to people, and Carly kind of tells you to go ahead and tell people about your criminal past or whatever's going on. So I guess you have
there was two decisions then. Yeah. It was the first thing was, did you tell, like, who did you tell about Lee's past?
I told Clementine, and that was pretty much it. Because I was going around camp. She was the first person I told, and I was like, okay, she'll probably understand. She's already seen me kill like 2 people in the last episode, anyways. She clearly was.
I had to shank him.
It had to happen, so I was like, okay, I can go ahead and tell her. But she was like, she seemed like she was kind of cool, but she was kind of just shrugged it off like, yeah, well, I've seen people die. It's all right. It's like she's already been hardened by the apocalypse. It's sad, so sad. And then I went over and started talking to Kenny and his wife, and then like as I pulled one of them aside, I was like, is this really a good idea for me to do this? Because for one, I don't really trust Kenny that much because he's already like screwed me over a couple of times at this point. So I'm like, maybe I should hold off. So then I end up just sending them both back. I was like, whatever, I'll just not tell them. And I was like, I'm not going to tell Ben because he's new here, and he's probably the one who got to screw us all over anyway. So I was like, I don't trust him. And then, so basically, I just didn't tell anybody except Clementine at that point because I almost told Lily, but then I was like, she's already kind of out of her mind with this whole supplies being thing. I was like, last thing I need to do is just make her suspicious of me, and the next thing you know, big old Mexican standoff in the camp. So, like, I'll just not do that.
So no one but Clementine.
Yeah.
See, I don't even remember telling anybody. I don't think I told anyone, because I remember later on in a dialogue with another character, they're all like, why didn't you tell anybody, Lee? So I don't think I told anybody.
Yeah, because they called me out on it too, but also, I mean, Clementine obviously wasn't going along with them, so it was different.
But it was weird because, like, in that part in the game, I don't remember that there being that option to be like, hey, let me talk about my past. So I was like, whatever.
Well, in the dialogue, it comes up first as it's like, can I speak to you, or can I tell you something or something? So it's not, they didn't like blatantly have it out there like, oh, tell them about your past. You have to like pull each person aside separately or something to do it.
Well, to actually start it all off, you have to go talk to Carly first.
And there's that.
So, you know, if you went in and just went back and talked to Lily about the stolen supplies, you may not have seen that part.
Oh, that's probably what happened then. Because I went to talk to her. So I was like, let me counsel paranoia crazy lady. The wheels are coming off on her both.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, this part, I told everyone. At this point, I was like, you know what, it doesn't matter.
What's wrong with you?
The end, and they should know. And, some of them might even be like, oh, awesome, we got Man Killer here, and we need that in the zombie apocalypse.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
when has anyone ever said, oh, yay, we have a murderer among us, let's all be happy and have a party? Because I'm sure I missed that.
Well, he hasn't killed any of us so far. Well,
okay.
And he hasn't killed anyone else except for that lady at the hotel.
And those two guys that I murdered.
Optical.
So it's like I'm not sure.
Well, funny, no, yeah. I even told Ben, "Hey Ben, what's up? I killed a man." Okay, thanks for trusting me with that. Ben will remember that.
Although it's a good way to keep Ben in line, though, because it's like, yeah, you're new here. I kill people, just so you know. Let that be out there for a bit. So, I don't know. But yeah, that's the thing, too, though, because like I said, I killed both brothers in the previous episode, so I was like, they already know I kill people, so it's not like, so I was like, do I really want to put that out there, be like, yeah, by the way, I kill people even before that, so I'm just like a serial killer at this point, so... Have a nice dream tonight when I'm hovering over you and watching you sleep.
Yeah, and for me, as far as like Lee goes, I was still in the gray with him where I didn't know what I had done or if he had just been accused and like was on his way to jail for like a crime he did commit or not. So I didn't know if he was guilty or innocent because even playing the episode 3, it's like he hasn't done anything to show I'm a criminal that committed a crime or I did it and I was wrongly accused. So I was like, maybe I didn't do it.
Wait,
so
didn't he? There were some talks in there where he, I guess, I don't know, maybe it's just not concerned when you tell other people or something. But I could have sworn he mentioned something about like killing his wife's lover or something like that in this episode. So I think he did admit it. It was just like to people who already knew though.
I can't remember exactly where that happened, but along with Tekken, I had this sort of feeling where it's like, yes, Lee committed this murder, but it wasn't as simple as that. Lee's just not going around killing people.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, line up for a free death.
It's not exactly something he's proud of. And, being that the world is totally different now, it's like, might as well get it out there, and, now people know where I stand, and it's like, okay, and then, yeah, I guess a little bit. I hadn't thought about it at the time, but it is kind of like a warning. Where, on the one hand, it's like, yeah, so, I did this thing, so I'm being honest with you, and so hopefully you'll be more trusting of me. But if you're not, remember, I killed a guy.
I'm not sure that really falters trust in people. I mean...
it depends on how the other person takes it.
Uh-huh. So I'll be sleeping with my pistol under my pillow now. Like, can't trust Lee because he's a murderer. So,
but anyway, you go on this.
I had already started lying at the beginning anyway. What's the point of start telling the truth now? Keep on.
Yeah, I thought. Well, I guess Tekken, since you didn't go through this part, you wouldn't have done it. But I guess at the beginning I decided, I'm going to play mostly truthful. Because I think it was because I saw a trailer or something, and I saw the part where it says, Herschel noticed your lie, and so it didn't happen to me in the game, but I had already decided, oh man, they're going to know when you're lying? So, okay, I'm going to tell the truth. And that's how I was playing.
Yeah, see, you let the game scare you. I didn't let it scare me like that.
I let previews of the game scare me.
Even worse. It wasn't even the real game.
What happened to me, like, the whole notifications, like, when that stuff would happen, I was like, oh, they know, and they'll remember, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be, well, I'm always the good guy, but I was like, okay, I'll have my good guy shoes on this game, so yeah.
That's weird, I never got those notifications, though.
Yeah, because you turned them off, right? Or what our assumption is.
Or maybe it's a bug in the terrible...
It could be, yeah, I was about to say, it could be a version of the game.
True.
Because, yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I didn't get them, so I was unaware of these. My
didn't know that they
people apparently. Yeah, it's like whoops.
But, I'm awesome at this.
It's like nobody's
lying. Knows. He's a murderer, and we all know it. Look, he killed 2 guys. Anyway,
it's true.
So you go on this investigation to find out whether or not things are being stolen, and you talk to a lot of people, but the significant part here is that Duck hears about it, is like, ooh, it's a mystery, and he really wants to help out.
He's so adorable.
And so you get to decide whether or not to let him help out. He gets
like,
the
no.
part. Oh, really? He said no.
Grown-up business,
But he wanted to be your Robin. Why would you deny him that?
Well, I think I didn't say, like, the flat-out go away or whatever. I was just like, I'm going to do this and not ask for your help. So, yeah, that's what happened.
Because initially I was going to say no until he went on that whole thing about, I could be your sidekick. And it's like, I could be your Dick Grayson. Is like, oh, I don't like that Robin, but, I mean, I'll let it slide. Because it's just so adorable. So, I let him do it, just to humor him. So, he seemed
You
like
missed the part where it says, Duck thinks you're super awesome.
No, I still got that part, so I must not have just told him off. I probably just, like, was, like, playing into it, like, okay, sure, help me or whatever, but not really.
Wait, they gave you
like,
gave you a notification that he thinks you're super awesome?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He high-fives you.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I probably would have just lost it then. It's like, okay, here, you can ride on piggyback ride. Let's do this together. It's like, oh, my gosh, can't do this.
Best friends forever.
Yeah. It's like, I couldn't say no to him. He was like, oh, come on. I can't say no to you now. So, I just let him help.
Unfortunately, you do find out that supplies are being stolen and being deposited in this little bag outside the fence. Mm-hmm. And you go to tell Lily, and then she's like, oh, I so knew it. And then bandits come raid your camp, and somehow, very easily, they have all of your people hostage.
Yeah, it's like, well, that was quick.
I know, right?
Like,
go team.
What happened? Are they ninjas?
Yeah, seriously. Because, like, 1 minute you're getting attacked, next minute they turn, it's like, so why is everyone tied up right now? What's happening? What did I miss? So
you go out, there's an action sequence where you fight them off, and
I died a lot during this sequence. I have terrible aim. So I was like,
yeah, it was
shooter
jarring.
elements. So,
but for the most part, you save everyone. Then obviously the gunfire draws the walkers, and Duck and Katja get attacked, and you gotta shoot a walker off of them, and then everyone gets in the RV and you drive away, and it's like, okay, camp is gone, and here we go. Of course, now that you know that there were supplies being stolen, Lily is on a warpath.
Yeah.
Looking for the guilty party.
It just goes from here.
She's pretty convinced that it's Carly. And I think, yeah, all of us had Carly, so
yeah.
Who knows what Doug would have done.
Probably.
Cried.
Don't shoot me! It's like, seriously, Doug? Seriously? Man up.
And Lily's just sort of going back and forth between Carly and Ben, and then the truck hits the RV hits a walker, and you gotta stop to pull it out from under the axle. And do you get to choose anything here? Oh no, it's coming up. So
yeah, I was about to say it comes up soon.
Accusations flying back and forth. Ben looks really scared, and Carly is defending Ben, and then
see, it was funny to me because it's like Ben was like acting scared. That's how he always acts, so I didn't suspect him. So later on, when I found it out, I was like, that's just the way he is. But it's like,
it was like,
oh, you.
It was just like the opposite effect for me, because when he was doing it, I was like, this guy, see, he's
like,
acting way
look at him.
He's acting way too. Well, but think about it though. It's like somebody that scared would easily go and make deals with somebody outside to try to quote unquote protect the group when he's really just looking out for himself. So it's like, and he was new to the group anyway, so he didn't really have any loyalty, especially since we already let his other two friends die. So it's like there was that.
Then it's like great because like the dialogue. The time is like, it seemed like it was going so fast, and I had like no time to think.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, come up with something. Because like Lily's going after Carly, and then Ben is like, we should put it to a vote. And Carly's like, Lily, you need to chill, you're out of it. And then like Lily's like, Lee, back me up on this. And I'm like,
And it's like, I think Carly did it, something Ben did it, and it's like, I did it, and dot, dot, dot.
It's like the whole time I've been trying to stay neutral and like not side with anybody. So that this whole dialogue part, I'm like, holy crap, I don't know what to choose. It's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't. There's quite a few times during the game where it was like rapid fire questions, or it was like the timer went like down like in a second. It's like, crap, I don't have time to choose anything. Start picking directional buttons. So
It's people.
yeah, well in that case it was just like whichever was most capital letters. It's like, yes, this sounds like yelling. Pick.
But yeah, so RPG, you suspected Ben at this point already?
I did, but all the good it did, because...
Did you put the pins into him, or did you back off?
I tried to... Well, I was mostly trying to calm Lily down, and then I was like, then we could like accuse him afterwards. But then she was just like flying off the handle, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on right now, but I know Carly can do it. But
I was just trying to defuse the situation, and be like, chill out, lady.
Yeah, so I was like picking answers between like, okay, Lily, calm down. Okay, Ben, you probably did this, but Lily, seriously, calm down. It's like, so you're like trying to go back and forth, but at this point she's pretty much convinced. So it's like nothing you can do can stop her. So it's like, well, this is gonna go horribly, and it did. And it did.
It totally did, because she just out of nowhere pulls her gun and shoots Carly in the face, and Carly's dead.
Because it kind of caught me off guard. Because it was like
so abrupt, because like they're having this like crazy conversation, and then like Kenny says something, and then they all turn and blah blah blah, turn back around, pop right in the face, like mid conversation. I was like, holy crap! Give me the air. That was so awesome. Just, wow.
It's like, wait,
wow.
Like, did you really
amazing?
Just do that? Did you?
That just happened.
It was pretty crazy.
So I was like, okay, so clearly we can.
That's like something out of 24. It's like all of a sudden, like out of nowhere. Bam.
Yeah, I was not amused at this point. It was like, okay, now I'm pissed.
And she was coming on to me, and I was like, no, I could have had some romance or something. Totally dashed my chance of getting laid in the zombie apocalypse, man.
I was trying to go down that road, because that would have been awkward. It's like, killed my chance. Although, at least on the bright side, she did shoot her in the head, so we didn't have to worry about killing zombie Carly. There was that benefit, but still, though. It's like, hey, what the hell? What the hell?
So, yeah, you grab her, straps the gun, and here you get to choose. Do you leave Lily behind because she's a threat, or do you take her along with you and decide what to do with her later?
I chose to take her.
Really?
So I was like,
really?
Okay.
You chose to take Psycho.
I'm not
bus with you when she
was unarmed. We had to fuse the situation. She wasn't armed. She was a threat to nobody anymore.
So she took.
I couldn't just leave her on the side of the road.
Oh,
like,
the hell! Oh, the hell!
Doesn't kill live people.
Oh, the hell! No, because you have crazy people. She could have had another episode. Next thing you know, she's taking children hostages, and then like, no, the hell! I was like, I'm not having this. You stand right out here. You gonna get 8, and you gonna like it because it's your fault. I left her right there. I was like,
I also took her along. I was like, you know what? Now you're our prisoner. If we need bait later, you will be it. I
was alright.
See, that's the other thing. I was like, how does justice work in a post-apocalyptic situation like this? I was like, I can't just leave her. That's not a good enough punishment. Like, it's like, no, you're coming with us until I think of a better way, because you just killed her. No, yeah.
I left her, and
I was like, you're gonna pay for this. You're gonna pay for this. I haven't thought of it yet, but you're coming with us until I think of a better way.
That's interesting then, because I don't know what happens with her. If she was alive, because I mean, after you leave her and drive off, there's like a scene where they kind of have like the walkers, like in a group walking up the street. So it's only assumed that she
panics and she runs.
Yeah, so I can only assume that she got 8. But
but then with The Walking Dead, like if you don't see them get 8, then they're possibly still alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was interesting because I guess
the other thing is like, what if she came back later and was like a threat to everybody else? I was like, yeah, there's that too.
But at the same time, it's like, well, we're driving. She's on foot when there's like a horde surrounding. I was like, the chances of her actually getting back to us probably not that big. So Might
They
be.
probably thought the same. I thought the same thing to RPG when I looted that car. Just saying. dot.
Now, that was your fault, because there was no guarantee any of it.
And after what happened there, I'm glad I took her with her, or took her with us, because maybe in the next season. Dot. Something's gonna go down, and she might remember. Oh, he left me.
I did leave her.
I thought the script for her was interesting when you leave her, because she says, like, oh, I was just protecting the group. Look, Kenny, you killed my dad, and you did that for the group, and Lee, you kill lots of people, depending on what you've been doing.
Oh, yeah, because I think at this point it all came out, didn't it? When they were just like, well, your past, or you've been killing people in your past, or some crap like that, because I think they got mad for me not telling them that I killed that, or possibly allegedly killed that guy, because I didn't go on trial, so the way I see it is I could be innocent, even if I did totally do it, but they're like, at this point, everything's coming out, and she's like, and I'm like, oh, so everybody already knew, then what was the point of me even bothering trying to tell anybody, so, but then they were like, well, we were hoping to see if you come clean about it. I was like, F that! I know, right? Like, I don't trust anybody here, so, I was like, but yeah. And it's like, and even though I did kill people in the past, I never killed anybody in the group. I didn't just say, face shot.
I think Kenny said something to me about, like, Lee, you did that in the past, and you didn't tell any of us. And I was like, dude, you killed a dude with a freaking salt lick, like, as I was trying to save him. STFU, pal.
It's like,
seriously.
Hot kettle? Seriously? Right? What's happening? We're all guilty of doing bad things right now, so let's not point fingers. Mister, I like to explode people's heads and shoot people in the face. Yeah, talking to you. It's like, at least when I killed people, I killed them to save us. I didn't go killing people in our group. So.
Yes. Moving on. Duck. Yes. You find out, and I suspected this the moment Duck got a speaking part where he was actually relevant.
It's true.
Oh man, Duck's gonna die.
It's like, oh,
and yep, turns out Duck was bit in that attack from the bandits.
It made me sad because I was like, Robin, no. But it was too good to last, because I mean they couldn't have two kids in the group, because then they're like, oh. It's like, what if you like this one kid more than you like the other one? We have to keep the focus on Clementine here. Stupid Clementine.
But yeah, you sort of get. I don't think that this is just a matter, but like you could say, it's like, oh, what, he's bit? Stop the RV, and then I don't know, have another showdown, or maybe Kenny would blow up in your face or something.
It's like, that should go well.
But yeah, so you get to a train that's just stopped across the road, and so you can't go past it. And so everyone gets out of the RV except for Lily, who's not there. And,
yeah, she's not.
What do? Yeah, you figure out how to get the train off the tracks.
Yeah, so you go exploring a bit, and I think Kenny, like, just goes up to the cockpit, or not cockpit, this is in the plane, whatever that car of
engineering cabin,
whatever that is,
conductor cabin,
yeah,
whatever.
That thing.
Well, so for me, this was the part where I felt that episode 3 was the weakest of the 5 episodes, because first of all, this was very adventure gamey, where you sort of walk around, try to click on everything to pick it up, to see if it's a tool that you can take with you to do another thing to make something else happen. And you're just walking around, and it's like, oh, yeah, Duck's been bit, but he can wait until I'm finished with this thing. And yeah, it's just like, it felt very. It didn't feel, I guess, as dramatic as all the rest of the stuff that had happened so far. Plus, the other thing that happened to me was the first thing I did, I came out and we said, oh, let's go have a look around. And Lee's like, Ben, come with me, and we're going to go look around the train. And then I didn't follow what they were saying. I just went back into the RV to talk to Lily, because it's like, to me, it's like, that seems like the most pressing thing. I mean, I brought her along, so let's find out what to do with her. And I go talk to her, and she says, she's not remorseful, or she's kind of, but not really. And then I just...
She's crazy.
But I started walking around the RV, and I just like, oh, there's a pencil in the dash, and I just picked up the pencil, and then suddenly, out of the blue, Lily is out of her handcuffs or her restraints or whatever, and she's pulled a gun on me, and she's like, I'm taking the car.
What did I say? What? What did I just say?
And I just got pushed out, and she took the RV, and it's like, what just happened?
Like, did I win?
I picked up a pencil.
And that triggered off the chain of events where you almost got shot and you lost your RV. Good job.
It was really weird. And I was like, that, plot-wise, that seemed really strange.
Where'd you guys get handcuffs from? Did they just, like, randomly...
I don't know if it was handcuffs, but she was tied up or something.
Oh.
Yeah, she was tied up.
And, but yeah, suddenly she was loose. I was like, what? She's loose? What? She has a gun?
To be fair, none of you had, like, Boy Scout training, so your knots are probably not the greatest. Also, everyone's kind of careless of where they leave their weapons. Like, Lee's the only one I've ever seen, like, actually, like, put it on his person, but everybody else, they kind of just, like, put them on tables, like, I'll be alright. I'll just go outside real quick. Nothing can possibly go wrong now. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was very strange. Later, when I saw a different playthrough, apparently, you go around and you talk to people, and it's like, oh, what do you think we should do with Lily? What do you think we should do with Lily? And you do some of the train stuff, and then you go back and see, in that sense, that, okay, so there could have been a more natural escalation to the point where she carjacks us.
Yeah, the pencil was probably just the trigger for in there.
In mine, it was just like, oh, I'm going to carjack you, and I can totally do that because you didn't tie me up, really, and someone left their gun on the table over here, so yay!
Oh, good times. Except for your group.
All sad.
See, now that could have been avoided had you just, left her in the first place, because she's crazy. I mean, this is a woman who just lost her father, just killed a woman. She clearly has nothing else to live for. So, I mean, it's like, do you really want to trust her when you have, like, weapons and kids and stuff around? You should have just left her. That was a bad choice. It's a bad choice, guys.
So yeah, was there anything significant in this part?
I think you can fight Kenny but I think that's after. Actually, that's
after. Yeah. So I remember here you get eventually through all of your wanderings and picking stuff up, you meet a guy, Chuck, the hobo who lives on the train.
He's a nice little drifter. Like, oh, hey, homeless man. Where's
I know, right?
What's going on right now?
That part's really funny when he's at the sort of rest campsite where everyone's sitting. You go over and it's like Clementine's like, oh yeah, we met Chuck.
Like,
he's good. He gave us all candy.
It's like,
Ben something. And Ben is sitting there like, what?
Yeah. Like, what is going on? Do we just instinctively trust random hobos up the street now? Like, what's going on here? It's like he could have killed all of you. Seriously. Including nobody ever had to talk with Clementine about not taking candy from strangers, cause...
Yeah, you get to talk to her after the fact. Where it's like, did the candy taste funny? No, it was really good. That's how they get you.
Exactly. It's like, did your parents never tell you this? Oh, wait. Awkward. But, I mean... It's like, I don't know, but it's like...
Aw, too soon.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, JK on that. Just jabbing there. Go ahead, back to coloring. Forget I ever mentioned your dead parents. But, it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't understand how people were just so okay with this random drifter. Like, it's a good thing he turned out to be nice, because I was already on my guard. I was like, okay, if I have to shoot you, I will, so. I'm not playing this game right now. Chuck, if that's your real name.
We should totally make that t-shirt. Everyone in this survivor group is useless but me.
That's how I felt at this point, because it's like, seriously, now we're just letting strangers in here? I mean, sure, we might be in his home right now, but seriously, guys, why was no one alarmed at the fact that some random guy just walked over here and started giving candy to people? Like, come on.
Is that the part when he's playing his guitar, too?
Yeah, I think so.
So I wanted to talk to him, but I went back to the train and it triggered the next series of events. So I was like, oh, I didn't get to talk to him. So yeah, I have no idea if he said anything awesome, which he probably did.
I mean, he pretty much just talk to you, and he's like, it's like, you have a nice group of people with you here. It's like, I bet I do. Drip. I'm watching you and your guitar. Don't think you can soothe this savage beast. Gotta keep an eye on people just letting, cause seriously, my survivors are idiots. All of them. What's going on here?
See, I just remembered something that happens that we didn't talk about, but like when you're driving in the RV to the train, Lee has like this crazy nightmare sequence that freaks me out, and I was so scared. I was like, wow, that one got me really good. Because like all this crap's happened. I think it's after Lily shoots Carly, and like you're driving there, and he's like asleep, and like he's like sitting next to Clementine. And then, like, all of a sudden, she's like a walker, like, lunges at him, is on him, and he wakes up, and he's like, and man, I got me so good. I was like, wow, that was scary. That was a great dream sequence, or nightmare sequence. Yeah. That freaked me the F out.
It's interesting, like, it's hard to remember all the exact points where these things happen, because there's a lot of interactions between Lee and Clementine that aren't really major decisions, or, actually, I think the cool part is you don't really know how they affected anything in the game. Yeah. Like that part, you go back, or Katja asks Lee to tell Clementine that Duck's been bitten. And you go back to Clementine and you say that, oh yeah, so he's been bitten. And then she asks if he's going to die, and she seems very calm about it. And you get a lot of different choices about, like, oh, what do you tell her? Do you tell her, yeah, he's going to make it? Or there was one where you could tell her a story about how one time your brother almost died when he got hit in the face by a tree when he was like...
What the hell?
Oh, you guys didn't see that one?
No.
I did not.
He was talking about his brother. He some guys were yelling insults at him, and he just like jumped up on their truck as it was still going and just like beat the crap out of them. Oh. And then while he was going to jump off the back of the truck after he was done, and the truck was still going, and he turned around and there was just like a tree branch, and like he hit it. He hit it with his face and went flying, and apparently didn't die, because we saw how that happened later.
Yeah, because I did it. I did it.
But yeah, so you can, you can go through with that whole story, or at one point you can just say, never mind, or maybe it's too gruesome for her, and there's just lots of things that you can say to her, and I think those are the reasons that people some of those parts I think are one of the reasons that people really like this game. Is just you're kind of, and I don't even know if it's real. You're sort of in the player's mind. You're building this relationship between you, your avatar, and this
little girl,
virtual girl, yeah, who is, she's cute. She behaves cutely in some situations. She sometimes she just seems like, wow, you'd expect that from a much older person. Yeah, there's a lot of different parts like that. You get to horrify her.
Oh,
by
yes,
stabbing, shanking in front of her.
How do you know she doesn't enjoy seeing that?
What the hell? I mean,
she could be into that kind of stuff.
That sounds like something gamer would say. Oh my god.
I'm just saying, you don't know what's going on in that little girl's head. She might like seeing blood and seeing people killed. Don't let her fool you. Because even like even like back at the camp, she was like, there's like that little moment where she tells you how she likes to hide bugs in Duck's like bedroom and stuff. I was like,
that was really funny.
I was like, what the F is wrong with you? It's like. Because I mean, what happens if, like, one night she does that, he wakes up screaming, somebody gets worried and starts shooting before they think to check anything, and next thing you know, people are dead because some idiot decided to put bugs in someone's bed. So,
see, I thought that was one of the cute parts.
Cute at all. She was,
it was like
the group.
It's really funny because you ask her, oh, did you break this flashlight? And she's like, no. Did Duck say I did it? And I'm like, no. Why? It's like, Duck thinks I put bugs in his pillow. I was like, did you? I was like, yes.
Really? Do you make tears right now?
It's like, wow.
It's like, great, now I can't even trust you. It's like,
Writers are amazing. Just these little moments that mean nothing.
Just awful. It's all her fault the duck got bitten. I told you that. I wish I could have. It's like, it's your fault. It's all your fault.
But anyway, so you get the train moving, you're going along, and it becomes clear that Duck is not going to make it. And so you have to go stop the train. Unfortunately, you're not driving the train. Kenny's driving the train, and he's kind of, I don't know, he seems like he's in denial or whatever. He's like, oh, Duck's going to be fine. And there is a sequence here. And so, like, how did your sequence here go with Kenny?
There was a lot of faces getting hit. With
so you knocked him out.
Well, no, because, I mean, I think, like, at this point, it's like,
around.
We're going, we were going, like, back and forth. Like, first, because it seemed like, okay, we were yelling, so I was like, I just assumed that there was a way to defuse the situation, but then he started trying to swing. I was like, wait a minute, this ain't about to happen. we were duking it out, and it's like, okay, now maybe he needed to get that aggression out, because, I mean, to be fair, his son did just get bitten by a walker, so okay, I'll let you have your moment, but that'll be the last time. Next time you're getting shot. Won't be any questions asked. I'm just going to start shooting people in the head, except Clementine, because I kind of need her, I think, so, it's like, but everybody else, unnoticed, especially you, Drifter, got you in the corner. Don't even think you're out of this yet, so, but yeah. But we fought.
I was able to defuse the situation, but then I was like, it's weird because like your relationship with Kenny, it's like, well, for me so far, it's like we're cool, and yeah, you killed dude with the salt lick, and from then on, I was kind of like, eh. But then after Lily lost it, it's like, well, I'm stuck with the other person that wanted to be leader, so we were cool before that, so no love lost, even though he killed that dude, and then now it's like, oh, your son's bitten. And now he's like, it's kind of seeming like a repeat ability where he's slowly unwinding and losing it. And I'm like, oh, I don't think this is going to end well. So I'm just going to keep my eye on you, but I'll trust you. But I got my eye on you.
But yeah, I don't know, because my relationship with him had always been like, it's been kind of like confrontational throughout the story. Because I mean, like I said before, the moments he keeps kind of like turning his back on you, I'm like, how could you trust somebody like this? So I've always like kind of kept him at arm's length, but I was like, okay, I mean, I understand he's still trying to protect his family though, so it's like I can't like completely, just disown him or whatever. So I've always been like,
it's like I saved his son, and then I stood up for him when we got to the other group of survivors, and then from then on, it's like, okay, we're cool, and like we're not in a bad spot yet. So I was able to diffuse the situation and just talk him down and stopping the train.
Yeah, we were.
So I was like, we gotta deal with this dude because stuff's about to go down.
Yeah, I ended up fighting him. I think I actually lost, but in the end, he still stops the train. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering, technically, did you see the part where he talks about, oh, this is karma because he didn't try to save Sean, and now Duck is dying in the same way?
I think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, I had never seen that part before, and I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty different. It's like, oh, so it wasn't really denial. I mean, it kind of is, but he's feeling super guilty for letting that other kid die, and now he feels like he deserves this, like Duck.
Oh, yeah. Died. He's like, we let that kid die back on that barn or something.
Yeah. Well, we didn't.
And I was like,
did.
I did.
I was like, you did. I tried to save him. No, to put we into this.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Oh, so there was actually an alternative. For me, and not remembering specifically, but it seemed like that. Yeah, we're talking, and then suddenly it's like, "You want to fight?" And I was
because I don't even remember what set him off. But I was like, okay, so do we have to just fight now? So I didn't even bother.
Fighting words. We're fighting.
Basically, so I was like, well, this is happening.
So yes. Regardless, you stop the train. And they're having a family moment because Duck is dying. Aww. And Katja's decided she's like, oh, we can't let Duck turn into one of the walkers. And then Kenny, he knows what you have to do, but he doesn't want to do it, and he's like looking for alternatives. Like, is there something we can give him to drink, or I don't know, smother him with a pillow or something?
Yes, Kenny. Let's do all of the above. See how well this works out. Quick.
And everyone else was like, no, you gotta shoot him in the brains, and so you get to choose who shoots Duck.
This part to me is like one of the two parts in the game that it does better than another game that tried to do it. That it's like, wow, that was like so much better than what it did. It's like, cause there's a part similar to this in Gears of War 2 where Dom and his wife, it's like, oh, but it's just like it comes off so terrible and like slapstick. It's like Maria, and then like this one, it just like does it so much better. So yeah.
So who shot Duck in yours?
I
Mine.
did.
Wow. Not surprised. In mine, Kenny shot him.
Well, first of all, let me defend myself before you go on. Not surprised on me. I volunteered to because I was like, okay, there's no
child
way.
Child killer.
Seriously a second. He was already
child killer.
Shut the hell up. He was already.
He hadn't turned yet.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, like I was saying, it was like these two. I mean, they already have to deal with the fact that their son is gonna die, regardless of what. There's like nothing in their power to stop it. So it's like, how would I just like let them go out there and kill their son on top of that? And I was like, you know what, just let me do it. I'm a relatively neutral party. You don't have to see your son, his gruesome fate or whatever. Because it's like it's kind of mean to just be like, yeah, this your problem now. So go ahead and go kill your son real quick. We'll be out here waiting for you. Gonna grab a smoke. You have fun with that. Kill that guy. Kill that kid you've been raising for the past few years. It's all right. Nothing to be guilty about at all. I'm just gonna lay back here, drink with the suspicious drifter we picked up back in the old camp, and you go ahead and have fun with your wife as you guys bury your only son. Have fun. You're not an asshole at all. So, yeah, that's why I volunteered. I thought it'd be kind of mean to do that to them.
Not in those words, but basically that's what I was thinking too. So I also was the one to shoot Duck. Again, how could you?
Yeah,
how could I?
You forced Kenny
killer.
to shoot his own kid?
We've had this talk before. I don't kill people.
It's not the same thing, though.
Well, that was it. Like, it was just like, well, I don't want to do it, so, Kenny, he's yours.
Exactly. It's like, he ain't my kid. I ain't got to pull the trigger. And, there's two other adults here. Actually, there's more than two that would be willing and able. So have fun with that, because I'm not going to traumatize myself with having to live with that decision for the rest of my life.
You've been murdering people left and right at this point. Who knows? You're not traumatized.
I have been murdering people. I don't know about you, RPG.
So, did you shoot none of the bandits when they raided your camp?
That's different, Tropical. That's self-defense. They would have killed me, so I had no choice.
Well, why do we put down walkers before they become walkers?
I don't put down walkers before they become walkers, Tropical. We already established
Why do we put down walkers, then?
Because Tropical,
exactly.
They'll kill you. Self-defense.
So why didn't you do...
Besides, like I said in episode 1, we don't know what child walkers can do or how dangerous they are. And we kind of found it out later, and they're not that bad. Just then.
Well.
That is
so...
logic.
But then it was weird. It's like, do you want Kasha or Kenny to kill them? And I was like... I just let the timer run out. I'm like, I'm not choosing...
What an a-hole.
So, by default, it went to Kenny?
No, by default, it went to Kaja, and then, it's, okay, now I'm wondering, like, how it ends on your guys', because on mine, it's like, Kaja takes Duck into the forest to shoot him, and you hear a gunshot, and then Kenny and Lee go over, and she killed herself. And I was like, oh my god.
I'm glad you find that funny.
Wow, that should not be so funny.
I was like, I'm glad you're amused by the fact that a woman committed suicide.
I was like,
well, see, so in ours, I think what happened was, it was decided. It's like, okay, Lee's going to be the one to do it. And Katya's like, okay, I'm just going to go say goodbye.
Yeah.
And she walks off by herself. And then suddenly you hear a gunshot. And you're just like, oh my gosh, what was that? And you run out and you find that she's killed herself. And it's like, oh man. Whereas I saw the other way too, where Katya goes out and you think that, oh, she shot Duck, and you're just sort of calmly walking out there, and then she's killed herself. And so I was like, oh, I guess it works both ways. This is the part where you actually get to choose who shoots Duck, though, because you get to choose again. So you, like, RPG, I guess both of us, we would have reconfirmed our decision.
Yeah, basically.
Because, like, Duck is still sitting there, and he's sort of breathing heavily, and it's just like,
yeah,
what do we do? We still have to deal with Duck. And it says, like, Kenny, you do it, or I'll do it. And then, and so when Kenny shoots him, it's just a cutscene.
It's pretty cool, actually, because, like, he's, like, pointing the gun at him, and then, like, Lee's saying something, like, blah, 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 or whatever, and then, like, mid-sentence, he just, like, shoots him. And he's, like, saying something like, oh, you don't have to do this, you don't want to, it's just a pop. It's like, oh.
Like, oh, well then.
Never mind.
So should we go now, or maybe you should give me that gun, mister?
Yeah, in the Lee version, it actually goes back into shooter mode, and you have to aim at him.
Yeah.
You have to aim at Duck.
They just want to drive that point home. It's like, yep,
yeah.
It's happening.
Well, another thing I think they let you do is you could actually wait. So, I don't know, RPG, did you see this?
For what, like if you wait for him to, like, turn, you mean?
You can, well, I don't know if he turns, but you could wait for him to stop breathing.
Because I was kind of, like, I did, like a slow pan, kind of make it, like, dramatic for myself, so...
Slow pan over to his head.
Like, try to make the camera a little shaky, try to, you know, keep the mood going. But, yeah, I think he was, like, kind of dead by the time I shot him. But either way, I headshot him eventually, and it was like, okay, this party's over, kids.
Yeah, like, in mine, you know, I didn't want to shoot him. I mean, obviously... in the first situation with the girl at the hotel, I didn't really have a choice. It was just like, oh, I'll do it, and then
didn't have a choice.
Well, no, I didn't have the choice that I have here with Duck. It just like panned off, and it happened off screen, and Lee shoots the girl. But then in this one, you aim, and you know, at this point, I was like, oh, I think I can actually wait for him to die, and so. In my mind, I don't really know if it happened, but you watch Duck breathing heavily, and then he stops breathing. And then that's when I shot him.
So he doesn't get back up and eat your face! So
in this situation, I may or may not have shot a live kid.
Wow, Tropical, that makes it so much better.
Well, see, if he's dead, parents do it.
If he's dead, then I just shot a body. Is that not better than shooting a live kid?
Well, I mean, technically he was not really live to begin with. His days are kind of numbered. Or his minutes, I should say, because he really didn't have days at that point. But it's like, your good old mercy kills. But it happened. And, you know, Kenny was all sad. And it was like, and then you kind of knew things were going to go badly because I already know who really caused all this. And I was like, oh, Ben, you are like 10 kinds of screwed once this comes out. So... Like, oh, God.
That part sort of came out of the blue because you were walking around doing your thing on the train, and then Ben just suddenly, it was me.
It's
and
like,
he turns around and says, huh? And yeah, it was Ben. He feels guilty because so many people have died because of what he did.
Yep.
It's like, congratulations, we already knew. Way to screw this group over, sir. So...
I was like, great. Of all the people that died, I'm stuck with you, and you're the one that did it. Awesome. ... And then you get to teach Clementine how to shoot. Is this also the part where you cut her hair?
Yeah, well, both parts happen on the train, so, yeah.
And, like, the ending is super creepy of this episode. Just, man, so creepy. Oh, wait, we're not at the end yet. Never mind.
Yeah.
So, there's still more stuff, actually. Because the train stops, and you meet 2 more survivors.
Pause it.
Okay, so, Lee teaches Clementine to shoot, then he cuts her hair, and then the train stops, and... Well, actually, before the train stops, they find that map in the cabin.
Yep.
That's like, this is where the train's headed. And then Kenny's all hatching a plan. Dude, get to the ocean, yeah. And I'm like, oh, really?
Don't worry,
Like,
walkers can't swim.
I would prefer the dude that's like, it's like, up until this point, Kenny is still my dude, so it's like, yeah, why does he have to have a crazy crackpot scheme to get to the ocean where it's air quotes safe? But then I guess, again, he did just like lose his wife and son, so maybe that's affecting his mental state. I'm like, great.
Even worse, because he had to shoot his son himself.
Yeah, well, yeah, my play, he was like, yeah, and kill his son, so
yeah.
Just killed his son and lost his wife. Why, Kenny, why? At least we found a map and know where we're going. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, the decision part here is you have to choose what to tell Clementine, because Chuck tells you guys need a plan, and so you get to choose the plan. And what's the plan that you chose?
I chose to stick with Kenny. I was like, I have no idea. And then it's like crazy when you talk to Clementine. She's like, Lee, are we still going to be searching for my parents? I'm like, oh, dang it. No.
Oh, I told her that we
that
would.
Got me, man.
Yeah, that was my plan too.
I was like, yeah, we can search for your parents, but FYI, they're probably going to be dead when we see them. So just keep that in the back of your mind.
You just need to know what happened to them.
Yeah, I think I said that too. I was like, yeah, we'll still be looking for your parents as we go along. So.
It's like, so F to the YI, if I have to kill them too. Hit my dad. Just wow. Put that out there, Clementine. Just putting that out there.
Actually, is this the part where she tells them like where they stay when they're in that city, and she gets all excited because they might be alive?
Yeah,
I was
it's like
man. Oh man.
It's like, where should we look? It's like, well, they live at some place. Like the starts with an M hotel. Marsh Hotel. It's like, yeah, that's the one. And then it's like, oh, cool. They could still be there. Like,
I know, right?
No.
Like, I did not want to get her hopes up, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you weren't wrong.
They were there.
It's like you were completely lying. So, yeah.
Wait, RPG, didn't you tell her that you thought that her parents were dead already?
I did. At this point, I was already like, yeah, they're probably not.
But she didn't care at that point?
She still wanted to look, I think she still wanted to look for them, because she was like, she had like this whole thing where she's like, but just in case, they might be okay or whatever, and I was like, okay, whatever. We'll just go along with it. But, like I already told you, I heard them getting screamed and eaten on the answering machine. They aren't alive right now, just so you know. But it's like, okay, well, I'll humor you, little girl who's really way too optimistic for an apocalypse. But, okay.
Yeah, for me, at that part, it's like Tropical said, like, all the small conversations you have with her, I had been, like, hopeful and, like, we're gonna get through this, your parents are maybe still alive, and blah, 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 like, all optimistic. And then it came back to haunt me right here, and I was like, oh, dang it, I can't go to the ocean. I gotta placate Clementine still. Great. So it's like that's the backup plan until we can confirm or deny that their parents are dead, and then we're out to the ocean because we have no other plan. Thanks, Kenny, and your crackpotness. I'm just trying to survive, so it's like whatever. I'm along for the ride.
Yep. RPG, did you actually think this ocean plan was a good idea?
No, he was crazy. Like,
okay.
What is
Everyone's crazy.
Because, like, what is the chance of we, like, even if we did get there, like, what were the odds of us finding a boat that worked? Which,
I know. I didn't think of that until we got there, and then the situation was, like, super bleak, and I was like, oh, my gosh. Why?
Like,
why did you go along with this scheme?
It's like, when you think about it, it's like, okay, well, this apocalypse has been going on for a while now. If anybody did have a boat that was there, they're probably gone by now. So it's like, what are we going to do? We're going to get there and swim out there and hope for the best, because it's going to happen.
For me, it's like there were no alternative plans, and I wanted to, like, still be on Kenny's side, so he didn't turn against me. So it's like, yeah, that was a bad idea, though.
Mine was, actually, this is a pretty common plan in the zombie apocalypse. A lot of people decide to go on boats, in the movies and stuff, and you never really see what happens. I mean, I think the Dawn of the Dead remake had a part where they
got to an island and they got, like, swarmed.
Yeah, and then there's like, oh, the island is covered with zombies too. And so I was like, okay, this could work. It didn't occur to me that maybe there would be no boats. The problem I was foreseeing was like, well, we're going to need a lot of stuff to eat.
Yeah, I was like supplies and resources.
Yeah, I was like, you can't drink ocean water.
So you guys are basically assuming you actually make it out to the ocean in the first.
You can fish. You can fish. There's fish in the ocean.
People are more optimistic than Clementine at this point. It's like, you
would die of thirst way before you would die of hunger.
Oh.
Yeah. So
can't you boil ocean water though?
It's going to leave the salt behind unless you have like a condenser to collect the water.
Well, you would have to be pretty clever about it, but you would be.
So I remember on the Voyage of the Mimi back in the day in middle school, they got stranded, and I believe they boiled water to survive.
Yeah,
I had to look this up.
You could, but it would, there'd be a lot of effort for not that much payoff, and there's a bunch of you.
Yeah.
So and you're on a boat, like you can't exactly, start a fire on your boat. I guess you can, but it's not totally safe.
There's plenty of water around to put it out if worse comes to worse.
Right. Tip the boat over.
Plan B.
Yeah, being on the ocean in the zombie apocalypse is basically like going to space. You got to bring everything with you.
I'm glad you guys are optimistic enough to assume there would be boats there.
Well, if you look at their situation so far, they had basically stripped Macon to the bone. There was nothing left, and then they had to leave, even though they got forced out by bandits. So it's like either way, they would have to go somewhere else after that.
Yeah, I mean, there's cars everywhere. Why wouldn't there be boats?
There were a lot of dead cars everywhere.
But they some of them had gas.
Well, that's because.
So you could potentially just pick a car and drive it away.
Well, that's provided the battery hasn't been stripped from it, or somebody hadn't already did something else to it to use for scrap or something. Then yes.
I mean, I guess in the end, there's a lot more cars than there are boats, probably.
Then there's that. And once again, think about it. If everyone had the same idea he did, first thing they would have did when the apocalypse broke out, everybody would have took their boat. Nobody would have been like, let's leave this behind just in case one of the survivor groups that happen to make it over here want to go take it out to sea and make it out there. So yeah, no. Thought they were all crazy. Everybody's crazy except me. I'm only sane man. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Clementine thinks her dead parents are still alive. This guy wants to go out on a boat that probably doesn't even exist. It's like, what's going on? Why am I the only one thinking about these things right now? Seriously.
That's what I thought was so good, because the game is such a good simulation of zombie apocalypse, even though it's not a zombie game. It's like moment to moment stuff comes up and you have to deal with it, and you're not thinking about the overarching how do we get out of here and survive? Because you're always in that whatever's at that time the crisis you're in. Doug got bitten, got to deal with this. Kylie just shot someone in the face. Now on a train with a hobo, going to who knows where.
Good old Richter.
Hobo Chuck.
Yeah. Turned out to be a nice guy, though, which is...
I know, right?
It's
surprising.
Great. Yeah, very, considering he could have shanked everybody before then.
Yeah, it's very little drama with Chuck.
I was like, so you turned out to be okay. Even though you might have gave people poisoned candy. Still watching you, mister. Still got my eyes on you. So, yeah.
So I think the next thing that happened is the train runs into an obstacle. There is a
large one.
An oil tanker, or that's not what they're called, just a giant tank of oil thing hanging off of a bridge right in front of the train's path. And for some reason, there's two people standing up there. You meet Omid and Krista. And so you have another sort of gamey part here.
Yeah.
Where you figure out how to get the train out of the way. You get to experience a little bit the fruits of your labor training Clementine with a gun. Basically,
not really.
Entirely. She kind of dropped the ball on that one, because I was fully expecting for her. I was like, oh, this is the moment. This is going to come in handy. She's panicking. I'm like, crap.
I know, right? She freezes up. That was such a good part. I was like, wow.
I was like, wait, miss your opportunity of awesome, Clementine. Totally not to you for
Clementine. Peace now.
Seriously. Way to drop the ball.
First off, I was like, Lee, what are you thinking? boosting the kid to get through the door in an abandoned building, which you can't even see in or get in. It's like, what are you doing? Oh my god!
He did. It's very funny. Kenny's like, or Lee's saying like, well, Kenny was over here. He'd probably say that I should pick the lock, and now that we have more time, I probably could. But then, and then Clementine was like, oh, I unlocked it. And like, oh, what? Oh, okay. And you're in.
Crisis averted, Simi.
But. You sort of get to know Omid and Krista at this point. Omid is apparently a Civil War buff. That's why he's halfway across the country.
Some weird
visiting Georgia. And Lee was a teacher of that subject. And so there was like a potential where you could bond there. Krista keeps... So I think what it is Krista supposed to be pregnant?
What? I don't think so.
Tekken, did you get that?
No.
Interesting. Because it seemed like she was very interested in Clementine. And later on, well, we'll get there, but like there are certain things that affect her, and they all have to do with having a kid.
Yeah, but I think it's because I think she mentions later that they tried before, but I think she may have like lost it or something. I forget where like exactly that happened, but I don't think she's like actually pregnant.
Anyway, basically they seem to be okay, and you just sort of have them join your group, especially because there's a massive wave of zombies.
Yeah.
that the noise of the train is dragging along.
And this part, actually, before that, isn't there a part, is it that you just met Omid and Krista, and like, aren't they like trying to warm up to you, and like Lee's like, look, we have been through some stuff today, people. You don't want to go there and make some jokes, funny guys, so let's do this, or something.
Well, yeah, like, there is that option. I think, I guess, how did your meeting with Omid and Krista go? Like, mine was basically not uneventful. It was just, oh, these are new people that, we've been through some stuff, but, we need help. Would you like to join us? And they're kind of, Krista's kind of weary. It's like, I don't know, there's a lot of crazies out here now. And it's like, yeah.
You're telling me.
We know about the crazies. And you just sort of, she has a talk with Clementine, and Clementine seems to be doing her part, and she's sort of, feeling out, is Krista going to be a crazy? And it's like, no, they seem like they're okay. And then, so in mine, it's just like, it was very smoothly, everyone was getting along. Clearly Kenny is still down, but he just sort of stayed out of the way, and Ben was interested in keeping watch and doing his part after betraying us to the savagery of the zombie apocalypse. And
and good old Chuck, just chilling with the guitar somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Chuck playing his music.
I thought that just was like my favorite dialogue option is like, we've been through some stuff today. And Lee just goes through like Kenny, and then just lays it all out.
It's like,
because if you're gonna betray us, just betray us now.
It's like, just get out the way. I got a gun. I'll kill you too. We don't have time for this. It's like, let's just get this all over with. Because I think even before when they like tell you to like climb up or something, because even then you're like kind of wary of them because they're like, come on up. I'm like, the hell? I don't know you. So it's like, so you're like kind of have your gun like half drawn while you're walking up there, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like I still don't trust you two because for all you knew they could have like tried, they could have been using this as a way to lure people up there so they can take their supplies or something. So, but they turned out to be okay. So it was okay.
Yeah, I think there was actually a part where they talk to you and they're saying that there's a lot of crazies, and is there anyone in your group who you think might be a crazy? Not in those words, but basically that. And you look down,
like, if there's somebody,
and you're like. You could say Ben, Kenny, or Chuck. And I think I said Kenny is Kenny just lost his wife and kid. my brother's playthrough, I saw him. He chose Chuck. So, yeah, we just met Chuck, so we don't really know if he's a crazy, but he seems okay so far.
Yeah, I think so. I did.
Yeah, because
I was like,
it's like he's the only one I don't. We don't know anything about this drifter we picked up, so it's like keep an eye on him if you want. But
he'd been with us like the shortest amount of time, so I was like, yeah, he seems cool now. Dot.
He starts wailing on people with his guitar or something. It's like, oh my god, crazy hobo.
Yeah, maybe we'll find out why this hobo has been alive so long by himself.
Because he eats people. Why is everyone a cannibal in the apocalypse? Oh my god. It's basically my response for that.
Crazy. So anything else there?
And I think just after this point, it goes to the...
Well, actually, after you clear out that building with the Clementine, that other lady, what's her name? Krista?
Oh, yeah, she comes and reprimands you.
Yeah, she's like, what were you thinking, or something?
You brought this kid, and you and an 8-year-old against 3 of them? And it was like, oh, we did all right, or, maybe you're right, or, I forget what the other one was.
The other one is I got a gun.
I killed a man.
Well, I killed 2, actually. I mean,
and Clementine likes that kind of stuff.
It's like, you see that look on her face? You see that little smile? She likes to see the blood. She likes it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I traumatized that poor kid. She is not going to be the same at all. She's seen some things. Some terrible, terrible things.
I've done things.
Some of which I'm proud of, some of which I'm not.
So, I guess to the escape part, where Kenny starts up the train, and it's going, and you and Omid are still on the bridge, and,
this guy. It's like, seriously. It's like, we don't have time for this.
Yeah, Omid's like, I don't think I can jump, and then you get to choose what to do.
See, this part's weird, because to me, like, the whole time you meet Omid, he's just, like, joking around, not serious at all. So I'm not sure, okay, is dude gonna jump, or if I jump, are we gonna leave him? So I gave him a nudge, and I jumped, and he fell.
No, that wasn't really a nudge. He got pushed.
That part was...
like, I didn't want to risk leaving him and, like, off the lady, so I was like, sorry, dude.
That's true. Because they were like, help Omid or just let him jump around. I was like, yeah, I'm pushing this guy. So then it's like, but then
we all pushed him.
Because then I got worried though, because at first when he hit the train and fell off, I was like, ah, crap.
I felt so bad.
I was like, oh no, this is bad. This is really bad. Because I'm thinking, I'm like, oh crap. In trying to help him, I ended up screwing him over anyway. So now what? So now he's like limping along the train. I'm like, ah, crap, he's not gonna make it. I was like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What is going on right now? So it was just...
The train's leaving, and, like, Omid and Krista are still not on, and you're like, we just met these people, we can't just leave them. It's like, wow.
We were the crazies.
It's true. It's like, we shouldn't have trusted you. It's like, ah, crap. Now I pretty much just screwed them over, and this guy has a broken leg now, so now they're really screwed, because now she has to carry him around. So I'm like, they're not going to make it on the train. And then he's like telling her, he's like, Krista, just go on without me. I was like, ah, crap, we can't let her be on this train when he's not here, because this is going to be like, you let my boyfriend die. And I was like, oh, okay, what are we going to do now? What's happening? What's going on? What are we doing? Should I just kill them both? Should I leave them? Should I help them? I was like, it's like, okay. It's like, just calm down. Everybody just calm down. So it was just like, okay, we could do this. So then I think, like, she helped him up on the train in mine, because I told her, I was like, it's like, okay, we could help him. And then I got worried she was going to get left behind, because I'm like, crap, the train's going to pick up speed by the time we help this guy. So
yeah, it was like, you get to choose who do you help first.
So I chose Omid because his leg was effed after I pushed him off the train. I was like, well, he ain't going to be able to take it.
So yeah, but...
And then it's funny because, like, he freaks out at you. He's like, what did you do? You just left her behind. She's a what? And then, like, she's, like, running.
Hops up, yeah. It's like, see? The problem solved itself.
See, this was one of the scenes that...
Tropical?
Did he get dropped?
I get dropped.
Oh, no, you're there. Okay, go.
What were you saying, Tropical?
Oh, no, he got dropped. Pause it.
Okay. Pause it.
Maybe somebody post.
Okay, what were you saying, Tropical?
Second you did, he got dropped again.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, what were you saying, Choptical?
Yeah, like, this is one of the scenes that makes me, just reaffirms my belief that you shouldn't play the game again. Because, yeah, I also pushed Omid off the bridge, and because of that, and you don't really know how it could have otherwise been, you feel totally responsible for breaking his leg.
Well, you kind of are. So, like...
Well, no, it turns out, like, if he jumps on his own, he breaks his leg anyway. So, in the end, it's sort of like, well, it was fate. But, no, because, like, you don't know that. And you push him, and it's like, oh my gosh! This is all on me!
It's like, great, now I have to kill 2 more people. Seriously.
And then,
Somebody
like,
hand me the pistol.
Even after you, like, pull Omid onto the train, and he starts talking about, oh, you didn't help Krista because she's a woman. Or, no, like, you should have helped her because she's a woman. You know, that also sort of plays towards what a person may have thought, you know, what some of the factors that they may have thought about when thinking that, but then, and then it's like, oh, she just jumped right up.
Oh. Which is good, because it's like, okay, the problem solved itself, so at least I don't have to feel too guilty about breaking your leg, because I kind of did. Almost.
It's funny, because on my screenshot, when I played through, on my results, it says you and 57% of other players helped Omid. So there's like a 7% majority, so there's a lot of people that didn't help Krista. Or that didn't help Omid, because, yeah,
it's like,
I guess she's a woman.
Women and children, women first! And, yeah, like, apparently if you pull her up, she's like, what are you doing? Like, Omid's all messed up out there.
Yeah.
And you still have to pull Omid up.
Because, yeah, I think she even tells you to pull Omid up during that sequence anyway, because she's like, just take him first or whatever. So it's like, oh, boy, here we go. So, but thankfully, the problem resolved itself and everybody was okay except for the broken leg. But,
yep. And that's basically the end of the episode. You get a little sort of cliffhanger at the end where turns out Clementine's radio still works, and someone has been talking to her, telling her, yeah, come to Savannah, I'll give you candy. Oh, no, not exactly like that.
That's basically what was happening, because it's like, at this point, it's like, seriously? Do you just talk to every stranger you talk to?
Come, your parents are here, we're having a party.
Yeah, Clementine seriously had no sense of stranger danger throughout this game, because, like, first of all, Lee's a complete stranger who just bloodied up and everything.
Actually kill a man. Like,
yeah, it's like
the people that you warn kids about.
Exactly. And yet, she's like, yeah, what's the worst that could happen? I can go along with this guy. It's like, she has, like, no concept of... I'm starting to question her parents here now, because it's like, did they not teach her these things? And you can't ask them that because they're dead, so it's like, what's going on here?
I think earlier there was a part where you talked to her about... Because after we all told her that we had killed someone, right? Or
no.
Tekken didn't. That's right.
No, I told
she asked.
I think the way I phrased it was like I might have hurt someone in the past or something.
She asked
it wasn't
about
like,
it
explicitly. I killed someone.
She's like, "Oh, you did that?" I was like, "Yeah," or in mine it was like, "Yeah," and
it's like, yeah, it happened.
I imagine in RPGs. The next thing she said was the one where she's like, but you've killed lots of things now, so it doesn't matter.
It's like, yeah, it's true. It's like I kind of got a thing going here, so yeah. Let's not get on my bad side. Next.
Yes. Anyway, so that's basically episode 3. I really liked watching the stats pages after the first 2 episodes, because it got more and more. It seemed like it got more and more unclear what the clear favored choice was for every decision. I mean, the Omid Krista thing, 57%.
Yeah, because there was a lot of stuff that
who
was
shot Duck?
50.
You know, it got closer and closer. It's like, oh, was it Kenny that shot Duck? Did you shoot Duck? Leave Lily behind. I think most people did. Or I don't know. Yeah, Tekken. What was the
I didn't check the
split
percentage from that
on
one.
leaving Lily behind?
Hold on, let me load it up because I don't have it.
Oh.
Let me. Hold up. Hold up.
Yeah, because I don't know. Do they take into account for like all versions when they do?
It says that you and 20% of players did not shoot him, so I was in the minority.
Okay. So most people shot.
And then leaving Lily behind, it says you and 57% of players did not leave her. So yeah, 7% majority.
But yeah, it was getting closer. In the beginning, it was very clear. It's like, this is how you play the good guy route. This is the Paragon route. This is the
Renegade.
Yeah, the Renegade route. Obviously, I haven't done it.
I have.
But then you get to this point, it's like, wow, it's getting a lot closer. It's like, oh, that's really cool.
The good old gray and gray morality thing going on.
Get an awesome, forcing you to choose.
Well, my logic is
round.
My logic is it's like the only people who really need to survive throughout this game is Lee and Clementine, so everyone else kind of expendable. So,
Yikes.
Well, except Duck. I liked him. Poor Duck.
Yeah. Didn't Clementine, wasn't she talking on her walkie-talkie at the end of episode 2, maybe?
She actually had been, quote-unquote, having her fake conversations.
Because didn't she tell Lee about it? She's like, I was talking on the walkie-talkie with my mom or something.
Yeah, because even at one point when he, talks to her, he's like, yeah, she just has, these fake conversations, keep herself, I guess, calm or whatever. But then you find out later that she really has been talking to
She was really talking on it.
Well,
so that freaked me the F out.
It's like, oh, this is fantastic. It's like she's been talking to some stranger all this time, and we don't even know who this is. It's like, it could have been Chuck for all we know. That's how he found us. And now we have some crazy drifter with us who knows everything about us, and he's going to shank us all in our sleep. Good job, team. Way to filter through the crazies and stuff. It's like, seriously. This group sucks.
Insane.
And then, also at the end of episode 2, you find that camera that the bandits were, creepily... Or not the bandits, but, the lady that got shot in the face in my playthrough was, creepily watching our group at the motel.
Yeah.
So they knew it wasn't safe.
She was, narrating it and stuff. She's like, don't worry, little girl. I'll protect you.
There's, a short clip that's been taped over where she's trying to escape from her former coworkers or something. And then it's that scene where she's surveilling your camp. And somehow that camera has an awesome microphone and can hear exactly what everyone is saying. Or maybe they're all yelling over there.
That's probably what it was. It's like, why do you mean there's no more gas in this thing? I'm gonna go get some! Where's your hat? I don't know! It's like, well... Someone needs to learn how to use their inside voice. It's like, what's going on over here? But yeah, it's true. It did have great pickup on that camera. Great zoom and everything, too. Nice and
about that. Oh, yeah, little girl, don't worry, you're going to be safe. And
it's like,
no. Good thing you're dead.
Yes, seriously. Because that was kind of creepy. Although I'm not sure what that was supposed to be like.
Yeah, I don't know what that was supposed to be foreshadowing, and... It doesn't seem like it did anything later on.
Yeah, that's weird. Now that you mention it, I didn't even remember that because it didn't seem to factor into anything.
You should
Maybe
see
it
this.
was just like,
what?
You're not safe even when you think you're safe.
Maybe. Unless it's supposed to just show us she wasn't as crazy as we thought she was, except the fact that she's a creepy stalker lady. Because that happened at the end of... Did that happen after you had already visited the farm?
Yeah.
Went back to the farm.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure what... that's weird. Not sure what that would have been like. What point that was trying to get across. Weird. Indeed.
Yes. So... Yeah. Closing... Did you like episode 3? I've already said many times, episode 3 was not my favorite. Lots of people seem to really like it.
I liked it.
And I was just like, that was the plot was strange, and part of it was probably my fault.
With you triggering events that shouldn't have been triggered.
But it felt much more gamey. You know, it wasn't like the decisions that you don't know what they're going to affect later on. It felt like, oh, here is a puzzle. How do you get this thing to go? Oh, here's another puzzle. How do you get this thing out of the way so the other thing can go?
Yeah, they probably want to make sure it was like more interactive or something, so it's not like you just making decisions. It's just probably what their decision was when they went into making it. But I mean, it was all right. It had a couple of good moments in it, some nice intense moments, but I guess like overall the feel wasn't the same as like the previous episodes where it was like, you know.
I guess the other part was also the intense things that happened. You didn't really have any power over the outcomes. Okay. You know, Carly just gets shot out of the blue. It's not like something you said. It's not something you did.
It's like it happened.
Lily just shoots him or her. And then, you know, with Duck, like, okay, you know, that part was kind of a nice part. But the fight with Kenny, that just seemed to come out of the blue for mine as well.
Yeah, because like, why are we? What do you mean you want to fight now? What's happening?
You want to fight? Fight him. Talk him down. Like, punch Kenny.
Basically, I was like, okay, so this is happening, but yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Are we outroing out of this?
We're waiting for you to do your.
I liked it. Just like my theme with like the game is like as the episodes go on, I just became more hardened as a person. So it's like, yeah, I didn't shoot that lady, but I used her as bait.
Like you're still horrible, no matter what.
And in order to save Omid, I pushed him off the train, or onto the train, because I wasn't sure if he was going to jump or not. So I was like, I'm not leaving anybody behind. Renegade option push.
Basically.
I'm not letting anybody else down me, even if I have to break their legs.
Which would have been hilarious if you would have ended up, like, not
dead.
Because I was like,
If I pushed him to his death, man, I'd have been so depressed.
Because that's what I was thinking.
Like, no.
Because when they said help him, I initially thought they meant, like, jump together or something, you know, like, but no, there's like, Kuh! And he's like hit the train and fell off. I'm like, oh crap! I just killed a guy. So it's like that was not my intention at all this time. So that was awkward. But yeah, thankfully that worked itself out.
Yep.
It was just such a downer of an episode. 'Cause, like the body count of like central characters to the plot. It's like, ugh.
Everyone
sad face
gone.
It's like they're all gone. They're all.
And now it's just up to me to be all like, yeah, that boat plan. ...
Keep your ragtag group together. And now you have to worry about some creepy guy who now knows about your group.
That was so creepy, man. That freaked me out so much. I was like, oh, what the F?
I wanted to just like pick Clementine up and shake her. It's like, really? Really? Did you not know better than this by now? What happened the last time you trusted straight? Well, I mean, I guess that worked out, but still, it's like you should be more cautious. Taking candies from drifters, going along with murderers. It's like she really is a poor judge of character. It's like, oh man. Although I guess she is a kid, so it's not expected to be all that common sensey. It's like, oh, you have candy. Do you have poison ice cream too?
Oh wait, RPG. Since you abandoned Lily,
Sure did.
Do you just like leave the RV and it doesn't get stolen?
Yeah, it's just there. It's only there for you to get the pencil, and then you're pretty much just gone.
So it's not as dramatic, where she just like steals your
no
secondary option if the train fails.
It's pretty much. So if we wanted to go back, probably go back and get the RV. It'd probably be overrun with walkers, but I mean, it's there, so it's that. But yeah, nobody stole it or anything.
Carjacked.
Because it's like, so basically, even if you save her, she still leaves regardless. So it's like,
yeah,
might as well not have even brought her along. She cray.
yeah.
That's why I liked episode 3. Is like she snapped, and then like after she snapped, I was like, holy crap. I was like suspecting who's gonna snap next. Who's gonna lose it next? Kenny's up there, stuff's gone down, and dude's wound up. He might just lose it. So maybe my bro might turn on me, and I might have to put him down or something.
If only.
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna say I trust you and go along with this plan, but I'll be watching you at the same time, and you don't know it.
I just kept my eye on everybody. Nobody trusted. Except for the guy with the broken leg. He really couldn't put up much of a fight if it came down to it, so... I knew I at least had him, so I didn't have to worry about that. But everybody else was healthy. I'd have to kill them. I'd have to shoot them all.
And that was like the beginning of the recurring theme of like Ben is completely useless and should be discarded at the first because he has done nothing but bad.
Poor Ben.
To our group.
Yeah, 'cause he almost dropped the ball in the next episode too. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not the time, Ben. This is really not the time. So, yeah.
All right. So is that a wrap on episode 3?
Episode 3.
Awesome. Yes, there's 2 more to come.
And a lot more death to happen. So much death. Tekken, sign us off.
All right, so I guess that's the stuff that went down and the stuff that happened for episode 3, Walking Dead, and we'll be back to talk about the stuff that happened and stuff that went down, and the stuff part 4, Walking Dead.